Hey, Vegas, do you want to talk about some good wide receivers?
Hey T-Bone. I am a Patriots fan, you're a Panthers fan. I don't think either of us know what a good wide receiver is. But sure, let's talk about some good wide receivers. What up, everybody? It's the Rottweiler Patriots. I'm Vegas.
I'm T-Bone.
And welcome, everybody, to today's video where we're going to discuss who we think are the top 10 wide receivers in the NFL. This is a combined list where we each made our own top 10 list and combined them and averaged out who the top 10 would be. So if there are any discrepancies or any wide receivers like, well, he doesn't belong on that spot on the list, it's all T-Bone's fault. Now, before we jump into it, I just want to remind you all that we are doing our Puppy of the Week segment beginning this fall. Those will be at the end of Power Rankings videos, and if you want to see your dogs featured on the channel, you want to see them featured in those, be sure to fill out the form. Link is posted down in the description. So with that being said, let's jump right into it. Our number 10 wide receiver is Mike Evans. Evans on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 10 years, 10 1,000-yard seasons, an absolute beast of a player, and is a big reason why Tampa Bay has found the level of success they have found in recent years. Obviously, having Tom Brady for a little while helped, but even last year on their playoff run, he was a huge proponent of their success. So, Evans, great job. T-Bone, your thoughts?
When you're being compared to Jerry Rice with longevity on how many 1,000-yard seasons you're getting, you know you're doing something right. It may not be flashy, it may not be good, and sometimes I may be a hater too. You cannot deny that the level of consistency and skill that Mike Evans has is not worth putting him on the list.
Absolutely. Now, if he had less issues catching the ball sometimes, he'd probably be higher on this list. He does drop it every now and then. But that's no disrespect. Evans still a great receiver and worthy of being on this list. Alrighty, the number 9 receiver in the NFL is Devonte Adams. Adams sits stuck on the Las Vegas Raiders, who aren't exactly a good football team right now and do not have a good quarterback situation at all. So his numbers might not be amazing at the moment, but that doesn't change the fact that he is still an absolute game-changing wide receiver, and we saw that with him when he was in Green Bay. Excellent player, very skilled. T-Bone, your thoughts?
He is a monster, but he was a bigger monster in Green Bay. I mean, he was putting up freakish numbers, but like you said, Vegas, we really can't detract that from him. From him, it's the fact that he's on the Raiders. He's still, there might be some weird stats, and you're going to be like, oh, what's going on there? I'll tell you what's going on. He's in Las Vegas and can't get out. But no, he is still a very skilled, very productive wide receiver when he's got a good guy to throw the ball to his hands.
Absolutely, and, I wish him well. He's a good receiver, and don't let the numbers fool you just because he's on a bad team. Alrighty, the number 8 wide receiver in the NFL is Brandon Aiyuk. Aiyuk, coming off of a Super Bowl loss with the 49ers where he was a major contributor. Right now, we don't know if he will play for San Francisco this year or if he'll end up somewhere else. Obviously, there's the contract trade thing. That whole thing went down with New England and Pittsburgh and Cleveland and whatnot. But regardless of any of that, it doesn't change the fact that Brandon Aiyuk is still an excellent wide receiver and was a big part of the success the San Francisco offense had last year. T-Bone, your thoughts?
He was a very, very prominent member of the offense. Him and CMC just were just crazy, putting up crazy numbers. Despite the contract stuff, you cannot understate. He's just so good at what he does. His only problem right now is where does he want to go?
Absolutely. And wherever he does go, that team is going to get a whole lot better because of it. Alrighty, the number 7 wide receiver in the NFL is Amon-Ra St. Brown. Amon-Ra, coming off of a very successful season with the Detroit Lions. He and Jared Goff had a special connection last year, and that connection led the team within an inch of reaching a Super Bowl. And I think the Lions are going to go just as far next year with both him and Goff. And some other good pieces on the offense, too. T-Bone, your thoughts?
They'll only go farther, in my opinion. The level of dedication and obsession that Amon-Ra has kind of reminds me of Brady sometimes. And I just think he's going to get better every year for as much as he can, because he is crazy. He's got that crazy work ethic. He might not be the best talent-wise, but he will get numbers just based on how much he wants it.
Absolutely, and the Lions would not be the team they are without him, so you have to give him lots of credit for doing what he's been able to do up in Detroit. Alrighty, the number 6 wide receiver in the NFL is Stefon Diggs. Diggs, coming off a big year in Buffalo last year, several big years in Buffalo. He has been consistently great no matter where he has gone. Maybe some attitude issues. I don't really know the behind-the-scenes stuff. No one does, but leaves Minnesota for Buffalo, then leaves Buffalo now for Houston. But regardless of any of that, he will still be an absolute weapon for C.J. Stroud and the Texans, and I think that team is only going to be elevated further due to his presence. T-Bone, your thoughts?
He wasn't very crazy last year, but I mean, he was still putting up insane numbers. So when it's a quiet year and he's still being a very exceptional wide receiver one, you know how good you are as a wide receiver. And I only think that he's going to get better and more looks, even with his age, in Houston. I know he's maybe got some other receivers to compete with down in Houston, but I think Diggs is going to find himself very happy there.
I don't think he'll be competing with anybody. I think he will be complimenting them, because that's what good cores do. And I think that the fact
do you
that
think
he's
it's going to be a
I think the fact that
a Cincinnati? Think it's going to be a Cincinnati situation?
I could definitely see it being a Cincinnati situation. I think
that'd be best case scenario.
When you have that many weapons to worry about on defense, someone is always open. Even if it's not you, you at least know that your presence is contributing to the success of the team. And
share
that's
the love,
big.
share the sugar.
Especially as a wide receiver who are as isolated as they are. So, I think it'll be good for Houston and Diggs where he's at, and I think Diggs is going to have an absolute monster year, especially with Stroud at quarterback. Alrighty, our number 5 wide receiver in the NFL is CeeDee Lamb. Lamb coming off of an absolutely fantastic season with the Dallas Cowboys, and as of today, the day we're recording this, he just got his extension secured, which, after a couple weeks ago with the Jerry Jones comment and his little post on social media, there were some questions, but in the end, Lamb and Jones got it done, and Lamb has just secured himself a well-deserved bag. T-Bone, your thoughts?
It is a massive contract for a massively good player. He was the NFL receptions leader of 2023, and it was good. He was one of the best wide receivers of that season. You can tell we're starting to get into the really, game changers up here. So, absolutely, he's earned this spot, and I only think he'll keep getting better. There may be a chance that he breaks Michael Thomas's reception record. Probably not, but there might be a shot.
Yeah, I mean, if they keep feeding the ball, and I actually think Dallas, weapon-wise, maybe got a little bit worse outside of him, so I actually think that's going to incentivize them to feed him the ball more. So you could actually see that happening. I very much could. because I also think the run game's going to go downhill for Dallas. They will have to throw it more. So that bodes well for Lamb. And when Lamb's doing well, Dallas is doing well. Alrighty, our number 4 wide receiver in the NFL is A.J. Brown. Brown has been nothing short of an absolute stud for the Philadelphia Eagles the last few years. Was a big reason why they were as good as they were last year before the collapse, and the collapse was in no way on him. A lot of the rest of the team around him imploded. He continued to ball out and be a professional and do his thing. And Brown's one of those guys who, year in, year out, is going to be an excellent player and someone who's going to always be open and someone who you're going to want to get the ball to so he can make some plays for you. T-Bone, your thoughts?
Every time I watch AJ Brown on TV, I have never seen him screw up a play. He has always given it, his A game, and has always balled out if he's gotten the chance. So he may not have any, he may not have led the league in anything crazy, but do not let those stats lie. Like you said, the collapse. God, it's like we've named a natural disaster. The collapse. The collapse was not on him at all, and he is going to continue to be a great wide receiver for many years to come.
Absolutely, and I think if the Eagles do bounce back this year, he's going to be a major, major reason why. And it's always good having Devonte Smith on the other side of it, too. Alrighty, our number 3 wide receiver in the NFL is Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase is an absolute dog who only puts in good performances with the Cincinnati Bengals. His connection with Joe Burrow has been special and so much fun to watch. He has been nothing short of brilliant since he got into the NFL and is a huge reason why the Bengals have had the recent postseason success that they have. T-Bone, your thoughts?
The Joe Burrow-Jamar Chase connection is one of the greatest connections of the 2020s. As far as athletes go, if both are healthy and both are on their A game, they might be the best duo in the league. I can't think of many others. So and for how young he was to begin such great production, it's a telltale sign of what's more to come, which is going to be good, just better. He's going to get better and better.
Yeah, I mean, he's still pretty young. He's only been in the league for this is his 5th year now?
Fourth.
I knew it was either 4 or 5.
Or no, hold on. No.
No, it might be 5.
He was a rookie. He was a rookie when they went to the Super Bowl. This will be his 3rd year, I think.
No, this would be his 4th year. Because it was Super Bowl, lost to the Chiefs, Burrow injury. This is year 4. I'm right. I'm right. You should have trusted your first gut instinct.
He got drafted in 2021, dude.
21, 22, 23, 24. There you go. 24, 4th season.
What?
You just proved my point.
It's like talking to the donkey from Family Guy.
You're talking to a mathematician.
I'm talking to nothing is what I'm talking to. You aren't anything. You pick your major, then find out. Then we'll talk.
We're working on one right now. Anyways, Jamar Chase has been an absolutely excellent football player, an absolute dog, and the Bengals are very lucky to have him on their football team. Alrighty, our number 2 wide receiver in the NFL is Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill is an absolutely athletic menace who is nothing but a headache for teams not named the New England Patriots because the Patriots had Christian Gonzalez, who completely locked him down and got a pick off of him. Don't mean to brag. Anyways, Hill has been a huge reason why Tua Tagovailoa and the Miami Dolphins have seen the recent turnaround that they have. He is the fastest player in the NFL. to the point where he is actually going to try to race an Olympic runner. And I think he will lose. I don't think he'll lose by that much. Hill is a very skilled wide receiver, such elusiveness, such speed, such quickness, and it's very hard to defend. T-Bone, your thoughts?
He was on pace for a few weeks to break 3,000 yards I think it was the first 5 weeks he had a 3,000-yard pace.
Now, when you're playing the Carolina Panthers, and you just get to absolutely nuke them into the sun, or the Denver Broncos, because you saw how that game went with Denver, I think it helps.
No, because they ran a lot. You should see the run game for what they did for the Broncos.
I know what they did to the Broncos. I had Devonte Adams starting for me that day in fantasy.
I'm sure it was a nice day for you, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. And then Amari Cooper did that to me in the playoffs.
Yeah, I bet.
Best team in the league ruined by Amari Cooper's 50-point game.
Hey, bud. Buster Brown. By the way, Tyreek Hill only had 163 yards on us, so don't act like he dropped 300. Calm down. By the way, it was week 6 that we went up against them. I was thinking about it. We sucked. We really sucked last year. This is a tangent for another day. I was thinking about it. I think are in the 2023 Panthers are in the top 20 worst teams of all time in the NFL.
Yeah, it was not pretty. But what has been pretty is Tyreek's play on the field. Off the field
beautiful.
Is questionable, but on the field, Tyreek has been an absolutely insane athlete and an incredible football player.
Here's the thing, if he can have just a consistent throwing or have a consistent, receiving rate, at least for like 12 games, he could easily break Calvin Johnson's record, which he won't. I'm rooting against him because I want Calvin Johnson to keep that record for as long as humanly possible, but it's definitely possible.
And the fact that it's possible for him just goes to show just how incredible of a player he is. Alrighty, our number 1 wide receiver in the NFL is Justin Jefferson. I don't think a lot needs to be said here. Jefferson has been an absolute beast ever since he got into the NFL. His connection with Kirk Cousins was special, and it led to a really good season a couple of years ago. Now, Kirk's injury last year sucks, and you're going to see his numbers with now J.J. McCarthy being down. Not as high as I think you would expect, but as long as he is in the game, the Minnesota Vikings have a chance to win, and there's nothing more you could ask for from a player. T-Bone, your thoughts?
Chris Carter, Randy Moss, Justin Jefferson, 3 amazing wide receivers drafted by the Vikings that just pissed away their talent. He currently has the most career receiving yards per game at 98.3. That's an NFL record. He reached 1,000 yards in about 8 games, 8 or 9 games, 1,000 yards, 8 games. That is wild. That is insane. If he can get a good quarterback, which he won't, of course. I love you, Sam Darnold. You're not doing crap. If he can get a good quarterback, he will absolutely just whatever Tyreek Hill's records he's going to break, Justin Jefferson will plow through them because Justin Jefferson's got the receiving, he's got the receptions, he's got the touchdowns, everything. Justin Jefferson, I think personally, I've thought about it, not many people can get close to Jerry Rice. I think Justin Jefferson is one of those people that can definitely do it.
And anyone who can do that is in a pretty special group of people, and a very, very small one, too. Alrighty, there you have it, folks. That's our top 10 wide receivers in the NFL. Feel free to post your own top 10 down in the comments, and be sure to let us know your thoughts. We would love to hear what you all have to say. And that is going to do it for us today. Thank you all so very much for watching. Please be sure to hit the like button. Please be sure to subscribe. And we'll see you all in the next video.